These purposes are not just pious words. They set not only the philosophy, but the legal basis for the specific provisions that follow. I urge that you do not change any of these purposes. I should like to emphasize that the proposed ordinance represents many compromises. Some of these were made to take care of the concerns of members of the sign industry. The committee did not accept all of their recommendations, nor did we accept all the recommendations of the people, of the members who are not in the sign business. As a result of these compromises, the proposed ordinance is a reasonable, even conservative, long-term solution to the sign problem in Dallas.
Those of us who represent the legitimate sign industry in Dallas have been pegged with the role of some kind of the sinister villain. That participation on the SOAC was little more than perfunctory. In the eyes of many members of the SOAC and in the public in general, all signs are lumped in the same mold, regardless of their legality or illegality. I couldn't agree more that some signs presently visible in the city of Dallas that are illegal and non-conforming under the present sign ordinance should not only be brought down post haste, but those persons responsible for the erection should be held accountable for them. However, there are signs too, signs that are legitimate, signs that have been placed in accordance with the ordinances and statutes of the city of Dallas, and I ask you, as responsible and reasonable and responsible citizens of this community, to separate the wheat from the chaff and make sure that we don't fall victim to the frailty of saying that a sign is a sign.
I think all of us had a common consensus of making up of minds as to certain basic issues with which we dealt. Our minds were made up to the fact that something had to be done about the clutter, that we were literally being overwhelmed in certain areas of the city with the proliferation of signs. We had our minds made up that we had to look into the safety factor. Were signs in certain instances hazards?
Finally, on section 41-14, page 10, it has to do with roof signs. Now, from what I understand from reading this, we are able to keep the landmarks, the signs that are landmarks, such as the flying red horse on the Magnolia building. We're going to keep that because it has to do with our heritage. Now, I quote from today's message by the chairman of the Sign Ordinance Advisory Committee when he said the purpose of the ordinance was looking not in the past, but to the future. Now, we're going to keep the landmarks, but let us not have any more of them in the future. That's what the ordinance does.